All right, so today I'm going to be talking about the issue of bathrooms and who has access to which bathroom and how we decide those kind of rules and norms. I think that over the last few years, the issue of bathrooms has risen to prominence, not necessarily because of its importance to the trans community, um, but its importance kind of politically in a much larger argument. For instance, what, even though this issue is something that the trans community is very concerned with, there are bigger things that should have risen to prominence before, or should be the next on the chopping block. For instance, the issues associated with hate crimes, issues associated with changing genders on birth certificates and state and federal IDs, or even more issues associated with trans people, the treatment of transgender people in prisons. Is a much larger issue and much more importance to their community than, say, the issue of what bathroom they can or can't use. As it stands now, trans people use whichever bathroom they they want to, and it really hasn't been an issue. Um, but of late, there have been states and local municipalities supporting um, certain rules that dictate which bathrooms trans people can't or can't use. Um, so supporters of transgendered bathroom laws basically argue that people should use the bathroom of the gender that is identified on their birth certificate. Um, they say that these laws, aren't fighting against equality or anything like that. They're rather protecting men, women, boys, and girls from when they're at their most vulnerable. For instance, kind of one of the scaremongering tactics that supporters of these laws claim is that if we don't have these laws put in place, then we remain open to the threat of pedophiles and sexual aggressors, sort of using transgenderism as a scapegoat for spying or sexual aggression in restrooms. Uh, However, this logically doesn't make too much sense. Transgendered people, as of late, have been able to use whichever bathroom they please, and these issues really haven't come to light. Um, for instance, if someone wanted to cross-dress, let's say a heterosexual man wanted to cross-dress to use a female restroom, to for some form of voyeurism or some terrible act, something that's already illegal now, that person would have already been doing so. Moreover, there are already laws in place that make voyeurism illegal, that make sexual advances like that illegal, and those people can already be prosecuted under the law as such. So trans people already use the bathroom of their choice pretty much nationwide. Um, and at this point, it just seems illogical to implement laws that prevent them from doing so, especially when the arguments for these laws really aren't based in fact. There's no evidence to suggest that without the law or with the law we would have more or less issues associated with sexual advancement or voyeurism within these restrooms. Furthermore, it seems important to allow people the freedom to self-identify um, and make the correct choice as to which bathroom they feel most comfortable going in. I think at the end of the day, to get back to the political importance of the argument, transgender bathroom laws just seem too much like um, a foothold for conservative political minds to hold on to the status quo and continue to resist, the change in the fight for equality that we've seen really come to prominence over the last few years, especially for the trans community.